Looks like the Toronto Maple Leafs are finally starting to look healthy with a bunch of injured players returning to the lineup as soon as this weekend. We might get a sneak peek at what the playoff lines look like as early as this weekend, and a bunch of prospect updates for the Maple Leafs as well, with a bunch of players in their junior playoffs. And could two of the Leafs' best prospects meet in the OHL final? All of that and more in this video. Welcome back to Leafs Digest. My name is Darius Domingues, and guys, we've noticed that about 80% of you watching our videos are not actually subscribed to the channel. So if you want to do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything Toronto Maple Leafs. And heading into the playoffs, less than 2 weeks away. It's exciting times, and the Leafs are trying to figure out their playoff lineup, and the junior playoffs are on. They're well underway. We're almost done the first round in the CHL, so it's going to be exciting. We'll get into that later in the video. But to start, a bunch of injury updates. Obviously, Morgan Rielly rejoined the lineup in their last game, and there was some criticism with Rielly or surrounding Rielly where the team does play better without him, which I think that is a little ridiculous. Come on, guys. Morgan Rielly is an elite player in this league. He's an elite defenseman, and the Leafs are better with him. We saw it last year in the playoffs, how crucial he is. So let's just put that to bed right now. They are a better team with him, and it's nice that he is back from injury. But we'll take a look at this too. Darren Dreger on Overdrive said that Marner took a shot off of the foot against Boston, and he believes that may be what injured him, not the fall itself. If that's true, that would mean that Marner's comments make a lot more sense. He probably felt frustrated that the media was assuming how he got injured when it was never officially announced, and that's from Leafs Truth. And that is a little true, actually. We've been led to believe that it was a high ankle sprain and that it happened when he fell, when he was trying that like wraparound move around the net, and that might not be the case. It could have been something with his foot, and honestly, I think all we got officially was a lower body injury. I don't think the Leafs ever came out and actually said it was a high ankle sprain, although that it seems like that was the running narrative in the media, and everyone was led to believe that. And if that's not the case, I feel like the Leafs should kind of come out and say, hey, that's not the case. But I guess they don't want to specify what his injury is either. But it looks like he is nearing a return, which is a good thing for Leafs fans, and he could be back in the lineup as soon as this weekend against the Montreal Canadiens. It's going to be a good game, an exciting game. And another guy who's returning to the lineup is Joel Edmondson. This tweet's from a couple days ago. Undisclosed injury on the ice for Leafs optional skate the other day, and he hasn't played since March 24th. And if we come to today, TJ Brodie and Mark Giordano are paired up together for the first time in Toronto. Obviously, they played together with the Calgary Flames, and you're looking at some pretty interesting line pairings. I mean, Benoit and McCabe, we know what that brings. We know what that brings. That's the good stuff. We like Rielly and Lyubushkin. I think they've been playing well together. I would like to see a little bit more out of that line. And obviously, Rielly's getting back into the thick of things since he's been off with an injury. And then Giordano and Brodie, I don't know if I have too much faith in that pairing, but I do like how Brodie is on the left side. He's in a lower position as well. He's on the third pairing. So if you give him less ice time and him on the left side, you might be able to shelter him a little bit. He might be able to give you some good minutes. And then Edmondson is practicing again. He's practicing with Timmins, who will probably not play tomorrow. And it looks like he could be nearing a return, hopefully next week, which would be very nice. And the Leafs are also going with a spread attack, which a lot of fans have been asking for as well. I've seen it not only in the comments, but I've seen all over Twitter. People are like, you need to spread out the lines heading into the playoffs. The Leafs cannot have stacked lines. I think that was a little bit of their downfall last year, too. I think stacking John Tavares, Ryan O'Reilly, guys like that, all on two lines. I think that, you throw your third and fourth line out there and there's not much to do there. There's really not much going on. So they're going more with a spread attack in Mitch Marner's return. You're keeping the first line together, which I don't hate, honestly. I really do not hate. Bertuzzi, Matthews, and Domi, they've been playing really well together, so why split it up at this point? I do think Marner ends up back on that first line. I'm not going to lie. I do think that happens before the playoffs for sure, but they are experimenting with things still. And then you look at the second line. McMahon has been playing great. I wouldn't move that. Tavares, obviously, second line center. With Marner, that's a different look. Tavares and Marner haven't played together in quite some time and obviously shared success in the early days when Tavares came over to the Leafs. And then you got Nyes, Holmberg, and Nylander, which is a little bit different than the kid line the other night. Robertson doesn't make his way into this lineup and might not play in Montreal, and Nylander on the third line. Not because of his play. I think they're just looking to spread things up because that first line has been so good together. And then you have the fourth line, who's also been really good. I mean, Reeves has looked rejuvenated since he came back from that injury. He looks fantastic. He's putting together good shifts and good minutes. So love that fourth line. I love that that's together. And really no complaints heading into Montreal. I think it's going to be very exciting. An exciting game to see some of the guys back from injury and what they can do. And Marner, with that second line, I wonder what him and Tavares can put together. Even McMahon, he's sneakily fast and he uses his body really well. Like body positioning, he always gains body position, and he's very sneaky with his speed, like I said. So I think I'm interested to see what that combination looks like. But anyway, to move on from that, the Leafs prospects are, surprising in their junior playoffs. And we have some big updates, including Easton Cowan, who continues to rip it up, even though it doesn't count to his original point streak. But we'll pretend like it does. But anyway, to start here with Noah Chadwick, the Lethbridge Hurricanes were swept on Wednesday by Swift Current. Swift Current has a pretty good team. And Noah Chadwick had 1 assist and 17 shots in 4 games. Chadwick is already on an NHL contract, so look for him to be reassigned to the Marlies in the coming days. So he's going to be able to get some experience in the AHL. He might not be an NHL guy in the near future, but he'll probably start getting development in with the Marlies as soon as this season, which is good. And, the Marlies are fighting for playoffs as well. So, if they're in the playoffs, he can get some experience in the playoffs as well, because, they always like to try things. That's what the AHL is for. So that would be fun. And to move along a little bit too, Braden Kressler with the Ottawa 67s got a primary assist on a power play goal the other night. He has 2 assists in that game, bringing him to 3 goals and 2 assists in 4 playoff games so far. And he's had a great showing with the Ottawa 67s as well. They are the 6th seed in their series against Brantford. They are up 3-1. So a little bit of an upset. I will use that term loosely because the OHL's Eastern Conference was extremely tight this year. Anybody could beat anyone. In fact, we're seeing a lot of lower seeds gain series leads or even just tie the series across the league this year, which is very unprecedented. So take that with a grain of salt, but he is helping his team, who are considered the underdog in that series, as a 6th seed to a 3-1 series league, and they can close it out as early as tomorrow night. So that'll be fun to watch as well. And that is Braden Kressler of the Ottawa 67s. And we move along to the man of the hour, Easton Cowan, 40 straight games with a point, including playoffs for Easton Cowan. This guy has put together an electric season and very exciting for Leaf fans. I wonder if he gets a shot in the NHL next year. I really do. I wonder if his training camp, I'm excited to see him in training camp. That's what I'm excited to see, because he has completely taken over the league this year, as he should with a guy that skilled level on that team, right? But anyway, yeah, London, great team again. And then from the London Knights, the official account, our MVP, Easton Cowan, has been nominated for the OHL's Red Tilson Trophy, which is given to the league's MVP for the regular season. And honestly, he'll probably get it. He wasn't the leading goal scorer in the league. That belongs to the Sudbury Wolves in their respective right. But he still was London had a great season. He played less games. He put together a great season. This amazing point streak, it's still going, even though it doesn't technically count in the playoffs. I do wonder if he's the MVP. It has nothing to do with playoffs too. So don't, if London goes all the way to the final, I don't know if that has anything to do with the trophy. But based on regular season, he put together a very good campaign. So I'm excited to see if he wins that trophy as well. And London, man, they just swept their first round series as well. They're the top seed in the Western Conference. I would say their only competitor there would be Saginaw, the hosts for the Memorial Cup. So if they meet in the the Western Conference final, it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Maybe Easton Cowan could be lifting some hardware at the end of the season. Not just individual hardware, team hardware. I think that would be exciting to watch. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of some of the Leafs prospects. Easton Cowan, I mean, he's just doing his thing. Some of the other prospects, surprising a little bit, like Kressler, love to see that. And let me know what you think of the Leafs lines and what you think the Leafs lines should look like, not only heading into this weekend, but heading into the playoffs, barring everyone's healthy. Let's hope for that. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and Nick and I will see you for another video tomorrow.